Mylabsplus today. Some of you are familiar with it, some of you are not. So we're going to talk about Mylabsplus. First of all, what is Mylabsplus? Well, Mylabsplus is Course Compass, My Lab, My Math Lab, whatever you want to call it. It's all the same thing. But Mylabsplus is a supplement to the book. The old conventional way of doing class really, not believing this. The old conventional way of class, and if y'all laugh at my mouse drawing, I will make you come up here and draw with the mouse, and that's not very easy to do. The conventional way is the teacher would stand up here and teach. And don't you laugh. I mean it. I'll make you come up here. Where's the teacher?
I think it's pretty good.
Oh, shut up. And then the student would sit at the desk and learn, basically. And you had a book. You take the book home. You work homework problems. You bring the homework problems back, and you check it. All right? That's the conventional way. It's called lecture. All right? Well, I don't do that. All right? I just do away with the book and the homework in the book. I do away with that, and I do away with having to keep up with the homework that you do. I don't do any of that. I don't worry about you having a book. I don't worry about you doing the homework in the book, and I don't worry about doing the grades, or checking it whenever you do it or you don't do it. I let the computer do that. And that's the difference between my class and this class. Course Compass, I call it Course Compass. Mylabsplus does all of this. That's what you're paying the $103 for. You're paying the $103. Basically, it's a give or take. You're paying $103 to get 12 to 13 days of extra what? Of extra instruction. Now, a lot of you say, well, I'm paying for, yeah, but you're paying for the conventional way. You're paying for me to give you a test, you take the test, then me grade the test, then me give you back the test, then go over it, which is taking 2 days. As I explained the other day, 2 times 4 is 8. That's 8 days. And then checking your homework every day, that's 15 minutes a day. 15 times 2, you meet twice a week. That's 30 minutes. 30 times 15 is 450 minutes. Divided by 90 is 5 days. So 5 plus 8 is what? 12 or 13. That's 13 days I could be basically teaching. So technically, you're paying $103 for this program, but you're getting 12 more days of me going over your homework problems and teaching you how to do the stuff instead of doing book work. And that's the best way that I can explain it as far as the $105 or $103, because that's how much it costs without the book. Now, let me go ahead and back up and go into your class. This is what I'm going to turn the other light off if that's okay with y'all. You don't mind sitting in the dark. Most people are in the dark anyway. There we go. There. Still ain't got enough light for that. Can you raise that first blind right there with the chain? Yes. Raise it a little bit. It won't work? What? Just pull it. Pull one of them. Keep on going. Keep on going. It's coming out. Come on. Yeah, keep on going. That's a little bit better. It's not much. Turn on one of these lights. See if I can get a little bit of light. Did that get it a little bit light? Yeah, it's a little bit better. Okay. Huh?
It looks like it's got a glare.
Yeah, I don't know why it doesn't have a very good, we'll just do the best we can. All right, so here is your dashboard. That's what this is called. As I put in due dates, you'll see them on here. I've already given you your due dates, your windows, and that was what we went over yesterday, which is Monday. So if you want to add them on here, I don't know if you can or not because I've never seen the student side of it. But if you want to add some dates on here, if you can, that's good. The three or four most important buttons. Homework, what do you think that's for? Do I get emails that says, where is the homework? Yeah, I do. It's right there. Quizzes and tests. And I should just put tests because I don't do quizzes. If y'all want me to, I will, but I don't. Study plan, that's extra work for you. It doesn't count for a grade, so it doesn't hurt you. All it does is help you because it's extra problems. Grade book, what do you think that is? This is going to be a test question because I'm going to have to put it on the test. Where do you find your final grade for the class? In the grade book. And I'll have something like on the calculator, and I'll put Donald Duck and water. And somebody will miss it. E-book, that's where you pull up the book online. Those are pretty much the 4 or 5 that you need to concentrate on. So the first one we're going to talk about is homework. First of all, let me ask you this. How many of you have used Mylabsplus before? It's been a while, but you've used it. How many have not? Okay, so there's a few of you that have not. So either this is your first time at Tri-County or you had a teacher that didn't believe in technology. One of the two. I don't know. I don't answer that question because I don't know which one it is. All right, here's your homeworks. Now, as I said, you're not responsible for doing any homework until I start what? Covering it. So right now, you don't need to cover it. There is an orientation right here. This orientation is for you to get familiar with the course compass, how to punch in answers, how to use the symbols on the side whenever you need to type in an exponent, things like that. It's not going to count for a grade. Your grades start at 5.1. All right? Let's go ahead and look at 5.1. Just look at a couple of problems. And let me show you what the most important things are. Let's start with number 1. Okay, it's not going to come up. These are definition type questions. I'll look at that right now. What section did I say we were going to skip? 1, 2, and 1, 3. 5.1 or was it 2?
No, 1.3 to 5.3.
5.3. We're going. Let me see. What is that? Huh?
You said we're starting at 5.1.
Okay. Well, we are going to start at 5.1. That is this. Okay. Well, this is the. Still don't like the way this is lighted.
I can't even see it.
I know. I'm sorry. How's that?
That's much
Let me
better.
turn on the back. That doesn't do any good. Oh well, y'all just gonna have to strain the eyeballs out. The video may show up better on your computer, but if you don't, the capture, the screen capture, which I'm recording here, will look just like this. So you can take your pick. It just won't have me in the picture. It'll just be showing what's on this. Okay, that's screen capture, and this is the video. All right. So anyway. Here's the question, of course. This is the problems. You can move forward and backwards. That's not a big deal. These are what I want to go over. Now, that's only half. You don't have very many buttons on this one, but you will see more in the more challenging problems. Wake up over here. Don't wake your head down too much. You know how quiet I am. I'm trying to get some more light in here. Can you see it better now? I mean the screen. And you might want to sit in the middle if you can't see it, if you're on the far left or far right. Okay, the first problem is help me solve this. Is the first button is help me solve this. Well, let me go off the board here. Can't write on it. Right quick. What room are we in? We're in 222?
223.
223. Okay. IT. 223 AC. 223 Promethean. Won't work with pen. Monday or today have rebooted several times for your info. Reboot. The reason I'm doing this is she may be able to remote on and fix it. I don't know. But anyway, to help me solve this, let me just go here and do this. When you hit help me solve this, let's say you go to a tutor in the tutoring lab and you got a problem. 2x plus 4 is equal to 7. And the tutor that you go sit beside the tutor because there's nobody else helping. There's no other tutors, and there's one sitting there doing nothing. So you sit beside that tutor, and he goes, okay, what's the object of math? Well, algebra. What is your objective? And you sit there and go, I want you to show me how to do the problem. And no, what's the objective? To get what by itself? To get x by itself. Now, look at your equation that you have here. You have 2x plus 4 is equal to 7. What do you need to get rid of to get x by itself? So how do you get rid of a positive 4? And if you subtract 4 on one side, what do you have to do on the other side? Okay, now, what am I doing while I'm tutoring you? I'm asking you what? That's called a guided tutorial. Divide by 2, divide by 2, and x is equal to 1.5. Or 1.5, or whatever, 3/2, whatever. I'm not really concerned with it because I can't write with a mouse. I showed you how to do it, but between steps, I asked you questions about the problem. And that's called a guided lecture or a guided tutor. When you hit help me solve this, that's what you're going to get. Now, why am I telling you this? Because some people, especially guys, you know why guys don't like guided tutors? They don't like directions. They don't like questions. That's why when Billy Bob or Bubba is putting together the bicycle for Christmas morning, there's always a handful of parts left over, and the significant other, the girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever, husband, wife, whatever, always asks the question, what? What's these extra parts for? And what does the guy say? Oh, they're there for if you lose some. Meanwhile, Bobby or Susie is driving the bicycle and the front end comes out and they're in the ditch because They didn't follow what? Directions. Guys do not like to follow directions. So usually guys do not like to help me solve this. All right? But some of us that like to learn a little bit more about the question, they hit help me solve this because they want to be asked those questions between steps. So that's a guided tutorial. So you need to make a note for some of you that's never used Course Compass that this is a guided tutorial. Help me solve this. It will ask you questions, and sometimes it will get on your nerves. So you need to make a distinction there which one you want. Well, what is view an example? Well, view an example is like this. You go to the tutoring lab. You have the same problem here. And the tutor you used the other day, he or she is doing something else, and there's another one over here. So you go sit over here. And that tutor goes, okay, you're doing an algebra problem. All right, well, you know you got to get x by itself. So what you do is you minus 4 here, and what you do on one side, you got to do on the other. And that'll be 2x is equal to 3, and then you divide by 2. What did I not do there?
Ask questions.
I didn't ask you any questions. I just what? I just told you what to do. And that's called a tutorial. And that is what you get when you hit the button, view an example. Okay? So some of you guys, some of you males might like that. Some of you impatient females may like that versus the questions that you get between steps. All right? And some of you might just hit view an example because you don't have time to go through and do the questions between the steps. Textbook. What do you think that means? It will send you through space to the part of the book that explains how to do this problem. Now, right now my computer is, of course, locking down on me. So I'm going to click it again, and I'm going to click it again, and I'm just going to sit here and wait. Let me close this out. Textbook. And those of you that have a textbook, go ahead and turn in your textbook to page covered up. You ever have one of them days where nothing works right?
Yep.
Page 210. And you see it takes you to that section that talks about the problem that you're doing. And you feel good about yourself. And some of you that fall asleep when you read, like me, I can read the funny paper and fall asleep. I'm just one of those people. I cannot read 2 or 3 paragraphs. I'm sleeping. So, but some of you can read like War and Peace in like 2 days. More power to you. Knock yourself out. Read all you want to. And that is the method, the learning style of reading. Now, here is the most important one. Ask my what? Ask my instructor. This is what I feed off of, and this is what dictates how fast we move in the classroom. The squeaky door gets what? Grease, or O-I-L. Okay? If you don't ask questions, what am I, as a teacher, going to assume? That you know it. So instead of covering 5.1 homework questions, if I don't see any, I'm going to assume that you know it and go on to 5.2. Y'all all don't jump on the questions all at one time, okay? Y'all going to have to drink some Dr. Pepper. Okay? You need to get that bottle down. Drink about half of it. I don't want you to go to sleep on me. Okay. All right. Now, ask my instructor, what happens? Well, let's do it. waiting. Gotta wait. Oh my gosh. What am I waiting on? All I did was hit a cursor.
Instructor busy.
What? I haven't even hit the button yet. This computer is messed up. If you would teach math correctly, I would know how to do this. You suck. Alright? Now, the reason I did that was because I don't want you to think I'd already sent one of these questions. Look at it, 5 is a multiple of 15. Alright? I go to my email the next day when y'all come to class. I have to log back in.
This seems complicated.
No, this ain't complicated. It's just,
I'm talking about logging in every 5 minutes.
yeah, well, teachers don't need to use stuff like this in their classrooms. We don't, so that's why we have to log in every 5 seconds, because we never use stuff like this in the classroom. Maybe 15 years from now, they'll extend it to like 2 or 3 minutes, because there'll be like 5 or 6 teachers using email in their classrooms. We still have teachers at Tri-County Tech that write their whole email in the subject line, because they don't know how to do email. It's pathetic. And when I hit, okay, that's what I was worried about. It should have already sent it, and it probably did, but I've got it going somewhere else. I've got to remove. Go away. It should have sent it. What time is it? 1:19. It should have sent it, and what it has done is it's sent it to one of those folders I just deleted. I'll have to fix that. Well, anyway, it comes to me, and when it comes to me, it's exactly like I sent it with the message and everything. That's really going to bother me. It wouldn't be in junk email. You're not going to let it, what was that? Is that somebody's phone? I'm supposed to go, huh? I'm supposed to go in cardio with Barks and honor. Have you had your teachers go crazy over the email? Over the cell phones? Okay, it's not coming up right now because I've got to fix my email. But it's supposed to come directly to my email, and it'll say what I said, and it'll have a hyperlink. And that hyperlink, I click on it, and it'll take it exactly to your problem, so I won't have to go looking for it. And that's the best thing about Ask My Instructor, is it will give me the problem. You don't have to raise your hand. You don't have to write it down. All you have to do is what? Send it to me. Okay? Now, there's other things too. I've got to cut my filters off. And right now, I'm going to have to do that later because I can't remember how I turned them on. Ain't that bad? What I might could do is search math 155. Maybe it'll pull it up. Nope. Okay. I'll have to look it up later. Sorry, guys. I should have taken those filters off. But anyway, it'll send it to me. I sent one earlier, but it's gone too because I deleted those folders. Okay, no big deal. Let's pull up another problem, and the reason I want to pull up another problem is because there's other things like this problem, question 14. And if you look at this one, you've got something else here. It's called animation and video. Well, let's see if the speaker bandit has turned off the speakers. Yep. There's a teacher around here that turns off the speakers and he or she pulls the knobs off. Like that's going to stop somebody from turning the knob. And hit the video button. This is for you visual learners. Mostly people that like to look at pictures. And eventually the computer will play it 15, 20 minutes from now. I have no idea what's wrong with this computer, but something is wrong with it. Something is really wrong with this computer. 223 teaching station. Very slow. For your info. I am not believing this. Well, I'm going to minimize that. Maybe a couple hours from now it'll start playing. Animation is basically a mixture of the video portion and the guided tutorial. It'll ask questions.
5
and
is
it'll
a
show
prime
you.
number, so it only has one factor, 5. 6 has 2 prime factors, 2 and 3. 35 has 2 prime factors, 5 and 7. The least common multiple consists of each prime factor, the greatest number of times it appears in any one of the numbers.
Now, I do not show this method this way, okay? There are some times that you will pull up Ask My Instructor and it's going to show you a totally different way than it's still loading. Oh, I had to hit the play button. Usually they start to play and I didn't have to hit the play button. But this is the introductory.
Go back a moment. We're going to look at number theory. Number theory is the study of numbers and their properties. Let's look at our...
They need to give that chick a microphone.
We're going to look, of course, at number theory. Particularly integers and
Huh?
rational numbers. Let's begin with two definitions. Prime numbers
There we go.
and composite numbers.
And
A
we're
prime
going to go
number
through all
is a
this.
natural number
Now,
greater than 1. that
What
has
is all this
exactly-
for? What is all these buttons for? They're to replace the teacher, right? No, they're not to replace the teacher. The reason you have these buttons, you ever been at home when you're working on math homework and you get to a problem and you're on number 15 and you can't do any more past 15 because you can't do that problem? Y'all ever been like that? You get stuck in the homework and you can't move on? This means yes, this means no. Okay? Alright, if you've been there, then those buttons on the side, the help me solve this, the explain whatever, the text, the video, the graphic, I just forgot what it was called, but the guy that was talking, but it was computer working, graphic tutorial, and that's it. All right? Those buttons try to help you get over the hump when you're at home. That's what they're for. They are not to replace the teacher. That's why you have Ask My Instructor. If you do all of those buttons and you still can't get the problem correct, then you hit Ask My Instructor. And it comes to me, and then we will go over it in class. That's where the 12 extra days come in. I have 12 extra days to go over homework questions and teach. Okay? Now let's look at one more button. There's another button that doesn't help you with the homework or anything. But what it does do, really, okay, I'm going to have to go back because evidently whoever set up this class, give me a second, settings. Gosh, she's loud. Course settings. What they've done is they've turned off being able to print. Hold on, just give me a second. And if they've turned off every one of them, I'm going to have to come in and turn on every single one. But I will. Some of these teachers. Go ahead and do it on all of them. Really? Yeah. Okay. Now I can pull up the problem. And let me go back out of this. Go back to homework. Now when you pull up a problem in 5.1, you have another button. See it? What does it say? Print. When you hit that print button, there's two things you can do. You can print this question only. Why would you print just that question? What would be the only reason for you to print that question?
So that you can actually thoroughly work it out yourself.
Yeah, or bring it to me. That's the only reason, that's the only two reasons you would do it. The main reason for this is this one. Why would you print the whole homework assignment?
So you can work it out by hand.
Some people like to work it out paper and pencil, and that's fine. But you need to be careful when you do that. When you print out the whole homework assignment, do not go back into that homework assignment until you're ready to type in the what?
The answer.
The answers. Because if you accidentally go in and hit one and do it, it's going to regenerate, and then the problem that you have on the paper is not going to match the problem on number 2 or whatever one you answered. So, go into the homework. Don't even go to the first problem, 5.1, number 1, and print out the whole problem, then hit save and get out of it. And then do your work, go back in it, and type in the answers. That's how you can do the conventional paper and pencil. Capiche? All right, that's any questions about the homework as far as how to do it? All right? The next thing, besides homework, let me get out of this, is quizzes and tests. Now what I'm going to do for y'all is I'm going to bring up one of my old tests and let you look at it. Assignment manager, let's go. Any day. Sometime today. Why isn't it going? It's not going to assignment manager. It says it's an assignment manager, but it's not. Okay, courses. Here, let's try this. Oh, I'll just pull up last semester, something like that. All right, when you go to pull up a test, hit the test button, you'll see Unit 1 test. It'll say Hubert, or it'll say Unit 1, Unit 2, Unit 3, whatever the case may be. That one past due. So let me go to Assignment Manager here. That's what it's supposed to look like. Show all. Past postings. There we go. Test. And Unit 1 test. We're going to preview. This is what my test will look like. Thank you very much. Well, is it going to come up or not? Lord have mercy. There. All right, there's a test question you see. What's missing that was on the homework?
All the questions.
All the buttons, right? All the help me solve thises and all that. That's missing. Used to be over here. They're missing. That's the only difference. And it's green. The homework is blue. So you click through that one, next problem. 3. Next question.
Can we preview our two?
Huh?
We can preview our two?
No, you cannot. No, whoever asked that, I don't know who asked it. No, that would defeat the purpose. Okay? Okay, here's one of Hubert's gimmies. Let's see how hard this is. How is Hubert's homework, test, and exam weighed? 20, 60, 20? I don't know, I can't read. I don't know, the teacher didn't tell me. 30, 30, 30. Why is it A? There's several reasons it's A.
Homework 20 counts 20%.
Huh?
Homework counts 20% of grade.
Okay, in other words, you read the what? The handout. Okay, you read the handout. That's one reason it's the correct answer. Why is it also the correct answer? Why is it another one? 30, 30, 30 equal what? That doesn't work. And the other two, please don't put the other two, because then I'll just get mad at you. Okay? Next question. And there's a question we're going to have. 3. I just type in answers. We haven't. And that's 3. Yep, I'm going to fail. No, I'm not, because I got 6 questions in there that I'd be an idiot to miss. 3. Will Hubert's final exam be online? Yes. Duh. I don't know. He didn't tell me. No.
Yes.
Yes. We've already talked about that. Oh, this is the one everybody misses. What is Hubert's email address and cell number? hmcclure@yahoo.com and 1-800-GET-A-DATE. Mickey Mouse @yahoo.com and BR549. hmcclure@tctc.edu and 864-844-3165 and hubertmcclure@gmail.com and 1-800-I'm-a-loser. Now, let's go back to the first question. We pick out what is the only answer it could be. The only one. Why?
Because it's a real phone number.
There's an email, there's an actual phone number.
Yeah. And you read your handout. Do I have people miss this one? Yes. They will either pick A or D.
It could be D.
It could be what?
D.
D. No, it's not. I didn't give you gmail.com. That is my Gmail. No, my Gmail is hubertcmcclure@gmail.com. But I didn't give you this one. I'm not a loser. I'm a winner. I'm very confident. All right, next.
And also get a day and I'm a loser is 8 digits, not 7.
Exactly. Now she's a good student. She caught that. I didn't even think about that. 3. Actually, I could answer that one, but I'm not. 3. 3. 3. Y'all gonna really be something if I make a 60 on this test, just typing in 3s. 3. 3. Which branch? Thank you.
Obviously, the Boy Scouts.
Yes, do not say Boy Scouts. I would rather you say Boy Scouts than the Army. Okay? I would rather you say Navy than the Army.
Hey, he is a Boy Scout.
Yeah, that's right. All right, next. If you take several forms of a test in Hubert's class, how is it counted? He averages the grades. He takes the higher grade. He calls you a loser and fails you. He gives you a drop slip. Is that it? How many questions I got? Is that
More.
no 20? I got 5 more. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. Where is all of Hubert's homework and tests done? Kitchen, bathroom, in class, on Mylabsplus. Submit test. Even if you are not cognitive of anything that we do in the class, you should be able to make a 25 on the test.
That's not good.
You gotta be, huh?
So what we know the answers aren't 3.
What'd you say? I didn't hear you.
I said we know the answers aren't 3.
Yeah, that's true. All right? That's the whole point. You could actually have a 25 grade point average and not even open your book. I mean, 25 average in here and not even open a book. That's pretty sad, but you could. So don't ask me for extra points because there's 25 right there, 24. Okay? And that's the type, and I'm going to add 2 or 3. One of them is, where can you find Hubert's videos? And I'm going to put on TV, in the yard, stuff like that, bathroom, and YouTube. And I'll put a question on there. There's another question I'll put on there. When does Hubert's homework and test end? What time of day? 11:59 p.m. And I'll put daytime, nighttime. No, I won't put nighttime. I'll put daytime, breakfast time, and Mickey Mouse or something like that. Okay? I've got several others I'm going to put on there. And this is not just me. Other teachers are doing it too. I don't know about but I know our math department head has really stressed putting information in our handouts on the test because students don't read the handouts. And they call the teacher with DAD questions. DAD is deadhead attitude disorder. Used to be something else, but somebody complained. Dumb attitude disorder.
Yeah, that's what it was.
There you go.
That's what
That's the one that I got fussed at about. You cannot say that. Okay, I'll say attitude.
I'm going to say that to one of my associates and see if they catch on.
What?
So I'm going to go say that to one of my associates and see if they
You suffer from DAD. You know, everybody has disorders now. When I was growing up, you didn't have disorders. You just got a whipping, okay, when you didn't do what you were supposed to. All right? Now we have all kinds of disorders. Doesn't have anything to do with all the code reds that we drink or all those little sugar barrels that we drink. Doesn't have anything to do with that. Now, there are chemical imbalances naturally in students. I understand that. But I think they've carried the disorder thing a little bit too far. And guess what? Guess who has a remedy for every one of those disorders? Who? The pharmaceutical companies. The pharmaceutical companies is to the disorders as Hallmark is to new holidays. I believe, and I do take medications when I need to, and I believe in medications, but I also believe that pharmaceutical companies are making a little bit more money than they need to be making up some of these disorders. That's my own opinion. And I think they know how to, I'm not saying they know how to cure cancer, but I think they know how to prevent it. But they don't want to tell too many people. I really do believe that. I didn't say they had a cure. I said I believe they know how not to have cancer be in your body. If you don't believe me, look up Dr. Otto. I'll look him up for you. We got to take a break anyway because I got to get something to drink. Dr. Otto. Let's see. Dr. Otto. I don't have YouTube pulled up, but we'll just Google him. And that's a real easy name to remember. Dr. Otto. Right there. Dr. Otto Warburg. Won the Nobel Peace Prize. What did he win it for?
Causes of cancer.
The root causes of cancer. Basically is acid in the body. And what causes acid in the body? Junk. So you might want to read about it. And Nobel Peace Prize, this ain't some rinky-dink article. He won the Nobel Peace Prize, Nobel Peace Prize. So there it is, right there. Acidic body, dang old alkaline, dang old healthy. All right, you good? Now that you know about Dr. Otto. You good about the test now? Now, I'm going to show you a trick I learned in the war. Look over here on the right-hand side. What does that say?
Review test.
Wonder what that means.
You can see what you missed.
And guess what? Look at there. Print. I bet you, when I give a test and there's 25 people in the class, I get 10 people. How do I look at the test after I see it? People, the answers are there. Show me completed problems. Show completed problems. You can click onto that. And it shows you which problems you got right and which problems you got wrong. Print, and you can print it, and it'll print out the correct problem, the correct answer. Now, is your second attempt going to be the same as your first attempt? No, I'm not that stupid. Okay? Each question, there's 25 questions on this test. Each slot for the question has about 15 to 20 questions to pull from. So on a question of 20 tests, I probably have 200 questions to choose from. It scrambles the order. Your number 1 may be your number 15. It also algorithmically generates the numbers. So your number 15 may be the same as her number 1. 2x plus 4 is equal to 5. Yours may be 3x minus 2 is equal to 7. Same problem, different numbers and different parts of the test. So the chances of you and you sitting beside each other and helping each other on test, you can help each other, but you're not going to be able to cheat because they're not the same. They're not the same test. You can help each other if you want to waste time to do that because you only got an hour to take the test. So it's up to you. Question on the test. And what does it give you right after? It gives you automatic feedback so you know, well, what if you missed it? Or where do you go to see what you made? Where do you go to see what you made?
Grade book.
Grade book. And let's say you want to go back and review chapter 1 test and we're in chapter 4. Then you go to grade book Well, did I not? Oh, I pulled up, that was last semester's test. Okay, forget it, I can't pull it up because I took it and I'm the teacher. But anyway, it'll say, over here it'll have a review, you can click on review, and then when you get in review, you can print it. So at the end of the semester, what should you study for your final exam? All 4 tests, because that's all I'm going to choose from. I'm going to take questions from the test and move them over to the exam. There's no way to fail this class. If you ever meet somebody that's failed my class, slowly move away from them. Because the stupid may run off on you, or the laziness may run off on you. Because you don't fail my test unless 3 things, and I'll give the benefit of the doubt for the third. 1, you're lazy. 2, there's a synaptic problem. And 3, you had a major tragedy and couldn't finish the class. I'll give number 3 out for those that do, have problems outside of class. But most of the time, if you meet somebody and they just failed, what'd you make? I made a 60. Well, there's a story behind that 60 because I would give you every chance in the world to pass my class. E-book. E-book? Well, grade book. I done told you what grade book is. I ain't going to do that again. E-book. Let's say you don't want to buy a book. Well, you done got on the course compass, you bought the 103 access code, you basically bought the what? The book. Now, the way that you use the book online is, let's say 5.1. Go to chapter 5, pull up 5.1. You go to the first page. Hit multimedia e-text. You go to the first page, and what's the first page on, did we say, of 5.1? What's the page?
It's
210.
210.
Now, 210, I want you to go through, flip over until you get to the homework in the book of 5.1. It's probably like 6 or 8 pages. Turn over. Turn that way. So it ends on page 217. Where did it start? Starts on 210. 210, 211, 212, 213, 214, 215, what page? 216, 217. How many pages? 8 pages. So you go to print. And you print 8 pages. Now, how many pages of homework is there in there?
It starts on 217 and finishes on 220,
So about 10 pages.
3.5 pages.
Yeah. So you go ahead and print 10, and then what if you need to print that last page? Well, you go to the last page that you printed, and then you print 2 pages, and it'll print the next 2 pages. So technically, on chapter 5, you could just print out the 5 pages that you need, but yours, a la carte, which you put in a notebook, you already got it like that. So it's however you want to do it. If you want to bring a la carte, all that, or if you just want to pick out chapter 5 and leave the rest at home, or if you want to just print it out because you didn't buy an a la carte or an old book or a new book or whatever the case may be. That's why I tell students I really don't care what book you use, because everybody has what? The new book on here. So it really don't matter what you bring to class. You got it right there. Capiche? All right. Who's got questions on? Let me see if there's anything else I need to show y'all. That's the e-book. That's pretty much it. Okay. So y'all don't have any questions on homework. You don't have any questions on class. You ain't going nowhere, so don't start packing up. You don't have any class questions, Hubert questions, homework questions, Mylabsplus questions. Yes, ma'am.
To actually access the to get to where you need to put your code in for Mylabsplus, where do you go through ETC or Blackboard?
You have to go through Blackboard.
Blackboard. Okay.
Yeah. Go through Blackboard, put in your username and password, and then you type onto. There's a link on your Blackboard that says bridge to whatever. Go to that, and it'll take you to, and then it'll type in your access code. Who
I
else
tried
we
that
got?
the other day and it wouldn't, I could click on bridge, but nothing ever popped up, it was just blank.
Try it downstairs in the lab. There's going to be at 2:30 a help lab on getting on to Mylabsplus. I don't know if you have to sign up for it or not, but it's at 2:30 right after this class. I'm going to be down there helping. You're stupid. No, I'm just kidding. I won't do like that. But you can go down there and do that. Who else has got questions?
So the homework, when we put it, if you want to put the homework out right there, go to.
If you want to print it out, then you go to the homework on here and you print out the whole assignment. No, you go back and punch the answers in when you finish. That's the only way you get credit is punching answers in. Now the reason I do that, I make you punch answers in, is that way when the test rolls around, you can't say, I don't know how to punch in the answers. Because you punched in the answers with homework. Okay? Who else has got questions on anything that I've covered the last 2 days? All right. Well, let me see if this thing's going to work. If it's not going to work, I'm not going to. Let me see if it doesn't work. Where did my pencil go? No, it don't work, so I'm not going to worry about it. I'm going to take the roll and I'm going to let y'all go. This is your homework. Your homework for today is to read 5.1 and 5.2. Do not do any problems because I'm going to show you an easy way to do 5.1 and 5.2. All right? Go ahead and just read it. Print out it. Print out it. Print it out. Excuse me. Print it out if you want to, or bring your textbook if you want to. Get on to Mylabsplus and be working on your supplies. Whatever you want to bring to class. Okay? Any questions for me? I got to take the roll before you leave. All right. What's your question?
You said the other day you might have some old books.
Yeah.
I'd like to get one.
Okay. Come by the office and I'll see if I got one. I think I do. I may not. I can't. I know I got a couple of 120 books, but I don't know about 155. I know I got an old one you can use. Old hardback. It's free.
Yeah, because I have an extra
Access code.
so I'm just going to return the book.
Well, good for you. All right, let me go and pull up the attendance tracker.